people also haven't seen The Godfather.
I haven't.
Yeah.
But like I've seen On the Waterfront, which is actually my favorite Brando movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of movies.
sad.
Though.
Yeah, it's a sad movie. You know what's not sad, Brandon?
This goddamn podcast.
The beginning of this podcast. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Tangent Podcast. Episode 196 for the week of December 19th, 17th, 2018. I am your host, Brian Thomas, alongside the Beacon of Light, Anthony Salvatore.
That's
going
free
on?
Advertising double time.
Oh my God, the politician himself, Brandon
You
Cox.
basically bootless wonder.
Yeah, he was.
What's up?
Yeah,
Nice.
that was a great intro.
You introduced me, so
And,
It's
Yeah.
almost like you've done this before.
God Mike back there, Steven Sell.
Hello.
And we're the podcast for the site, pixelatedpoints.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing and sprinkle in some news. But first, a little housekeeping for you guys. If you guys like what you hear and like what you see, please go over to youtube.com/pixelatedpoints and subscribe to us there, or on any podcast catcher around the globe. We also want to let our fans know that we are going to be making some changes with the new year, so stay tuned for that. We're keeping it pretty close to the chest, but there are some changes happening, possibly a Patreon, so if you want to continue to see us on screen look like idiots, just like this, look at us, and you want to hear us for the audio
Who want to
listeners.
pay for this? Let's get out.
Yeah, who's going to want to pay for this? But if you guys like what you hear,
X-Factor Cox.
it could help. It could help us. So we'll have more details to come. But for now, I'm actually going to take the stage here, if you don't mind, Andy.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, 'cause
I'm
stand
actually looking
deliver.
forward-
So I'm
Get
going to
the
be talking
spotlight
about.
right on you.
Yeah, we've got this weird light situation happening. We're going to be talking about Below. And Steve, before you start playing this, I need everyone to understand that there is probably. So we're going to be watching the first couple minutes of the intro of Below. So
fine. Yeah.
when I turned on my Xbox and I clicked into Below, I would say it took about 5 minutes from me clicking to like start game to actually move my character.
So, lengthy intro, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a very, I can tell
For
you
an
right,
indie, for an indie game, I guess.
I lost all interest almost immediately. Yep.
But was
So-
the original cutscene good, though?
No,
wow.
it's not,
Wow.
Anthony. So, Steve, could you do me a favor
right.
and grab us? You could start, do your thing and then get us going here.
So how'd you hear about this game?
How did I hear about this game?
Everyone heard about this game.
We've been playing this for a long, long time, and
Looking forward to this.
so this is the beginning, right? But if you could imagine, you are basically out in space,
That's
and then it
space.
zooms in to the point where you can now see that a boat is landing on a beach.
Oh,
So
all
for
right, camera
it was
pans in.
Anthony, this boat I would say was a speck on the screen. You could see clouds and stars and stuff, and it slowly zooms in, and it takes about 5 minutes to get to this point where we're at.
Nice.
No,
That
I
seems
thought it was.
nice.
I thought it was broken. I honestly, I got up. Like I got up. I had pizza tonight with my wife.
My
so
disc tray broke again.
I cut the pizza in half. Like I got us drinks. I came back. Tia's like, yes, nothing is still happening. I'm like, okay, great. So we're watching
The first.
couple minutes of Below, and right now it is. It's just a top-down kind of isometric exploring game. I think a lot of people have said like Dark Souls meets Zelda, which I'm like, I don't see that whatsoever.
Yeah.
There are campfires, and
little
it
bit
is,
top
I
shelf.
guess,
That's
Zelda-esque.
like waypoints.
Yeah, they're like crafting places as well. So you have to worry about your health and your hunger and your thirst.
Oh, you don't like those
So
whatsoever.
I hate
Yeah.
these.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did Don't Starve. And
Yeah, I enjoyed Don't Starve for what it was, but this game it just feels
a nuisance. It's more of like they shoehorned it in there, and it's more of a nuisance. than it
no. To be honest with you, Anthony, it's just I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is just the game feels really dated. I think that because they announced this back in like 2013. It's
gonna
been
say
like
that.
5 years in development. And for this indie game, they were like, yeah, this game's coming. And it just, like, it feels
missed,
like it missed the boat, really, because it is an exploration game. And the first thing that I thought of was, this feels like Titan Souls, right? Do you remember that?
the one arrow,
Yeah, the
yeah.
one arrow that you're just fighting bosses. It feels like Titan Souls, but it's not aesthetically as pleasing, and it doesn't play as well. I've run into a few enemies. It doesn't really tell you what to do, so you're kind of on this island on your own, which I do like. I do like exploring and trying to find things, but there are segments where I'm just like walking around. I'm like, okay, where is this leading
Where
me
do
to?
I go?
Okay,
Where do I-
here's a path, right? So I'm like, oh, let me follow this path to the left. And if you follow this path all the way to the left, Anthony, it takes you to places that you can't go. I'm like, all right, so I have to come back here. And then you're just like walking around this empty field. You find a lantern, and then the lantern runs out of fuel. And I'm like, okay, well, where the fuck do I find fuel? It is one of those things where it's like I can see a lot of people really, really liking this game.
As an independent kind of.
As one of, well, I know people that just kind of like those types of challenges. I was talking to Gary, who's been live streaming this on his Twitch, which you can go check out at twitch.tv/grizz_is. But he's been playing this, and he seems to like it a little bit more than I do. But he thought that his game had crashed and had broke during the intro.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's, I don't know. I just think it really does feel a little dated. I'm not a huge fan of what the game is. I did get this game on Games Pass, so I have Games Pass. So it's free with Xbox Game Pass. There's not really like great music to it. There's not like
Ambient sound.
there's
anything
not
creepy,
great.
Like horror,
Yeah, there's
nothing?
not great ambient noises. There are some, but it's not like.
Like inside, like Limbo and had that creepy.
Yeah, with Limbo, you kind of felt afraid to
Yeah.
move forward. With this, it's just, okay, I'm in this cavern, and now I'm in another cavern, and I think we're going to see an enemy up soon. It's just a black blob with a little red dot on it. I'm like, okay, let's attack
small,
that.
yeah.
And you know what? To be fair, I haven't given it its full shakedown. I've probably played about 30 minutes to an hour of it, and
But if you never, I mean, if it can't draw you in at that point,
It's true.
or if there's nothing
well,
really.
to be fair, for me, if it can't draw me in the first 30 minutes, I'm pretty much out. I don't think it visually looks great. I think that it looks completely average. I don't think it sets itself apart in any way.
yeah, I kind of think it looks weird from here. Like the guy looks really small, and then
Yeah. You're looking at so for the audio listeners, this game, the character is very, very small. I would say that if the character was at the bottom of the screen, you could probably stack about 20 of these characters to reach the top of it. So he's very, very small, or she's very small. You don't really know who you're playing as. And you're just kind of like walking around, making sure that you're eating and you're drinking, but you're also exploring. And a lot of these exploration places lead to dead ends, so it feels like I'm like wasting my time.
It's a tough question for you.
Sure.
Any positives?
You know,
if you, I guess if you like the exploration aspect.
I'm not saying that there are bad things to it. So I do think that it is dated. I don't like what, and I should say I'm telling you what the game is.
Yeah.
And my opinions on
Well,
it.
no, any positives for you particularly?
No.
Okay.
Not really. I think I'm more interested in what the game could be or what the game might end up being if I invest more time into it. It's just I'm not having fun at this moment playing it, and it's not hooking me. So I think I'm just gonna just completely move on.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if someone even if it had the Dark Souls aspect where like the boss fights are one of the big things, if it takes you an hour and a half to get to something that you find interesting, it's probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you make the?
You know what, Anthony? That's a great point, right? So like maybe it does take an hour and a half to get to a boss, right? And that's fine, but from that first hour and a half, if you're not enjoying the game, if
never
you're
know.
not finding anything interesting, right? Like that's on me. That's not the game. That's on me.
Well, it also seems like the world doesn't.
It's not interesting.
Yeah,
to
it's
me.
just kind of like plain. There's grass, there's lanterns, and then there's caves.
Like this guy, what we're watching right now is they're literally spear fishing in the water, and it's like, all right, yeah, cool. If you want to do that, then that's your prerogative. But it's just not for me.
Which it seems like it'd be a little better if it was a little bit closer and more intimate, right?
Yeah, but it is very, very far away.
Far away, so it feels distant.
Mm-hmm.
You feel distant.
You know what, Brandon? I do have a positive
Okay.
on this. So this game does not explain to you how to do anything. And I'm usually a big fan of those types of things, right? Where it's just like, oh, You know,
That's slighted. Like it's just a basic tutorial. or
there's
something.
no
Yeah.
basic tutorial. It is you just on an island and you go for it.
It lets you explore, kind of figure things out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't handhold you.
Like life.
There's no direction either. It's not like they're hand holding. There's just no direction. So that I do like. I like that a lot. But other than that, I would not play Below, but I can recommend it to people that like
this sort of thing.
this sort of thing for sure. But I will move on. So I'm playing this on Xbox One, but I'm moving on to the Switch because I continuously played The Messenger.
Oh yeah, the winner of the
Fuck this
best
shit, skull to-
best new indie.
Sure. Oh yeah, debut indie. Yep.
Yeah, debut
So
indie,
this game is so fucking good. I can't put it down. Like I'm playing Smash Brothers, but I'm really playing. Like I'm taking a break from this to play Smash Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah. This is how good this game is. So. For everyone that's wondering, it is Ninja Gaiden side-scrolling, but meets Metroid.
exploration looks a little different than.
Yeah, exploration is a little bit different than your typical Ninja Gaiden. It's not just straight side-scrolling. This person that we're watching is fucking atrocious.
Well, not all as good as you would.
I'm not good at this game. This person is really bad.
I know that's what. So the way you described it,
Mm-hmm.
you described it as games that I would imagine, besides Metroid, that I would imagine that you wouldn't enjoy because Ninja Gaiden is known for its difficulty,
I'm not
just for being difficult.
I'm not opposed to difficult games, but this game is not that difficult.
Okay.
Like I couldn't get past the third level in Ninja Gaiden. So I think I'm in kind of like the end game of this game.
Messenger.
Yeah, of the Messenger, because as of right now, I beaten like the main bad guy, but it gets pretty weird and like psychedelic story wise, and it's actually the story is very
Plot twist.
yeah. There's lots of like Shyamalan stuff happening here.
Oh,
Oh
what a
yeah,
twist.
yeah. There's lots of twists. I'm having a difficult time watching this person play, but I love that you. The big thing about this game that's different from most side-scrolling games is the traversal, right? So, anytime you attack an enemy, you then get a double jump. So if you jump and then attack an enemy, you get a second jump, and then you can then chain that to another, a projectile that another enemy threw out.
Like
and
if you hit it, you can then jump again.
Yeah, and then you'll slowly start to get these upgrades where it's like you have, a wingsuit that you can then hover and glide, and then you can get a grappling hook. And so this person here is actually doing a decent job of what I was explaining, and which is surprising because they were so bad the last run. Maybe it's like the older brother or something.
Pass the controller.
Yeah, past the controller. We've all been there. Maybe not you, Steve.
Or
No,
me.
he's definitely.
Yeah, but
Yeah, definitely not.
so, I mean, I really enjoy the game. I have died a bunch of times, as you could probably imagine, because this is a platforming heavy game where the traversal is the main aspect of it. But what I really love is that once you kind of beat the game, you can go back and kind of go do like this very weird Metroidvania-esque type of thing where you can explore the rest of the world and go back to certain places and unlock and find hidden things. And so right now what I'm doing is you're kind of finding this, without spoiling too much of the story, you find that once you find out like what the hell is actually happening,
The Clyde.
you kind of have free roam of what you want to do, and so you're kind of bouncing back and forth between two different worlds.
Is this like light and dark, but from like Link to the Past type deal?
It's past and present. Okay.
All right.
So
love
it's
that.
This is actually that would actually be Ninja Gaiden right there.
So past and present. So the past is what you start the game off in, and it's in 8-bit. And then what we're watching right now is the present, or I guess the future, which is in 16-bit. So when you're playing the game and you're playing like the end game stuff, you find yourself on the fly bouncing between the two, very similar to like Dishonored's level and Titanfall.
Past and present.
Yeah, so you're kind of going back and forth, and it's actually extraordinarily difficult because if you could imagine the difficulty in platforming sections in this, imagine not being able to see the platform that you're jumping to until you reach a point. Like you pass a portal, and then that portal turns you into the past or the present.
And you have to do a quick platforming type.
Yeah, exactly. So, game's a lot of fun. I find myself playing this more and more, like not even playing Smash at this point.
But you beat the messenger though.
The main story, yes, I guess.
So you're doing all that. So is there unlockables? Like, do you ever upgrade your?
Yeah,
like,
so there are. So that's a good point, Anthony. So if you can tell at the top right of the screen, it has 186. This person has like crystals shards.
Yeah.
These crystals allow you to upgrade your abilities, so you can get more health, you can get more
Magic.
ki, which is just basically you're throwing shurikens and stuff. But it is so much fun. It just brings you back to a time where games were a little bit more difficult, and it reminds me a lot of my childhood for sure. But
Cox would say the nostalgia.
I'm entranced by the difficulty of this. Just to be honest with you, I'm just like, how are people doing this?
To be fair, Anthony, yes, I am playing this game with rose tinted sunglasses or whatever the fuck that's called. Rose-colored glasses, thank you. But I'm really enjoying it because, again, like there is the nostalgia for me because I really loved Ninja Gaiden as a child, and but the modern day story of it, where like you have intelligent writing and funny writing, so I'm really having a blast with it. What else? Oh, the music is fucking top notch. It's what you expect.
8-bit,
16-bit,
yeah.
but it's so good. It is so good. I find myself humming it. I was humming it in the bathroom today while I was
at work.
Were
you playing this in the bathroom?
No, I was not playing it in the bathroom. I was just humming it, the shop music, and I think somebody like kind of was uncomfortable, which I get. Like that's on me. That's on me for sure. But
no, I mean, not really.
Yeah, it is though.
You can't enjoy yourself in the bathroom.
Not in that sense. But the game, I think it runs about $20-ish bucks. I think I bought it for 16 on the eShop.
I'm assuming it's the Game of the Year sale type, or is it?
Yeah, there was Game of the Year. Wow, that person had 58 deaths there. Holy shit, they're bad.
Not everyone could be as good as you.
Anthony, I'm not good. This person's just real bad.
You thought that was Celeste, and you found your death count was a lot less than
all right, you know what? You're fine. You're
But
fine.
you like Ninja Gaiden, which is arguably even more difficult.
Oh, Ninja Gaiden's way worse than this game.
Yeah.
This game is just, it's fun. It's a more fun Ninja Gaiden for me.
It's not punishing what you're saying.
No, yeah, it's definitely not punishing. It's slightly forgiving. But yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I would recommend it to anybody that is a fan of Mega Man, Castlevania, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, any of those types of games. Anything from, the NES or Super NES, you're going to love this game. So yeah, it was funny because, Steve, I was telling you that I really wanted to get into some Castlevania games.
That's right.
And just so...
Instead of Castlevania,
I've been playing this. And
it's in the same vein.
Out.
It is in the same vein, yeah. But yeah, I think we're going to move on from this Switch game to another Switch game. We're going to be talking about Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Because that's what the main thing that you've been playing this week, right, Ant?
Yeah, I played a lot of it.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at World of Light here. Because everyone knows what Smash Ultimate looks like, but this is World of Light. This is what people aren't really...
This is their new game mode for Smash. It's actually pretty extensive and pretty long.
Yeah, have you beaten it?
No, I'm at the end now, but it's 12 hours in.
Yeah, it's pretty hefty.
Have you got Solid Snake yet?
No,
Yes.
I have not.
I have every character unlocked. I also realized from his
Smash
trick from
character.
last week that if you just go into World of Light and back out without even starting a game, the character appears.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
In World of Light, I've not unlocked. They missed out on a lot of characters on, I think, World of Light. I think you get like maybe 40 tops, not even. I think it's 32 now. So they definitely didn't incorporate the other.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Like even in the video, I think is what the characters that you get. So you don't get like Cloud's not in it. Even the characters, even on the map, the characters you fight are still within the same vein of the characters who died in that original video.
Oh,
So you never see like half of.
You never really get like Bayonetta or.
Bayonetta's there. I think like I said, Cloud's not there. Mega Man's there, but they're missing like I think a few Fire Emblem characters, and then
Gotcha.
a few others. But
You know what I really love though, Ant, is that in this, right? So you're playing Falco, who is also using espresso, which is the spirit, and then what they do is the spirit is espresso, right? But they do this really clever thing of they're like, okay, so espresso is this weird looking ostrich. So we need a bird character that is kind of in that color scheme. So they're like, okay, we'll put Falco in there with that color scheme.
Yeah, all the spirits kind of match
The character
the
that
character.
you're fighting.
Like
There's one where it's like you're fighting the spirit of a Goomba, and then instead of a Goomba, there's 8 small Donkey Kongs. So you're fighting like 8 small little brown like little things.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Espresso the
ostrich.
the ostrich from Donkey Kong?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like that one.
Yeah, that's exactly what you know. What you're very very much right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played a little bit of World of Light. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think that I was a little bit duped because of the cutscene. So that intro cutscene that we saw in the direct, where everyone kind of gets Thanos, you know what I mean? They all kind of just
Spoiler.
get killed from the light. So I was expecting a lot of those type of cutscenes in this, and I've yet to see another one. And I've probably put in 6 to 10 hours ish.
My biggest question is, why do you think they chose Kirby as the main protagonist of this particular game?
Why do I think?
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't given it that much thought. And to be completely honest with
It
you,
just seems odd as a protagonist. You figure like Mario
Well,
or
Sakurai is known for create. Well, he's not the creator of Kirby, but he worked on a lot of Kirby games before Smash.
It's a homage to Iwata.
Oh yeah, that could
Oh,
be
I
it
didn't think
too.
about that.
Steve, you're a fucking fat smeller. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Try not to.
But
because the reason I thought was because of Kirby's ability to absorb people, and it'd be an interesting take on sort
He's a
of
blob of fucking
this metal.
he's a blob of evil. Is that what you said?
But yeah,
He wasn't affected because he's already evil.
Gotcha.
it just
So-
seemed weird to me why they would choose him.
Anthony, I was just talking about the cutscene at the beginning, which is great, and then there's no other cutscenes.
Correct.
Is there other cutscenes? Because I just haven't gotten them. If there is, it's fine. It's just
No, that's
Yeah.
it. I haven't got. I'm assuming the one at the end, which shows the master hands. I think, but other than that, there's no other cutscenes. There's actually like boss battles though, like the original. Hands you
really?
fight that they
That's
hit.
cool.
I don't like that map where it shows where the person is.
Oh, I don't think. I think you can turn that off. I think there's tons of little quality of life things in this game that just kind of fixes a lot of things.
So, like I said, there's a few cool things. The map also represents like so when you what you see on the map is like what the characters they pick in Smash that kind of represent them. So like the funniest one was like there's a train track and you have to find the spirit that's in Spirit Tracks from Zelda.
Oh, that's cool.
So the only way you can drive the train is to find that, like you need Lapras to do surf to find the island.
Oh, that is
that's-
pretty.
yeah.
That's pretty neat. I love the attention to detail and shit like that. I've seen a lot of people been like tweeting out like fun little details. So I saw this one where Snake's final smash is he shoots like heat-seeking missiles,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, the missile launcher. Yeah.
So if he heat seeks on, like, let's say Brandon is using the final smash and you and I are still fighting on the stage. If you knock me off of the stage, but Brandon homes in on me, I will fly off the stage kind of off in the background. His missiles will still follow me, which you're just like,
Tough to dodge.
well, yeah, well, I mean, I'm already dead, right? Like, I'm doing that animation where I'm falling off the screen, and it's like you just kind of turn into a star. The missile follows you
and still hits
in
you.
the back.
The worst ones where you hit the screen and then they like fall off.
Yeah.
And it's like that's
I'm saying no, they're gone though. They're dead.
But so the spirit stuff, Ant, how far are you kind of getting into that? Like,
You need like
You
I
need it,
mean
right?
you so like raging wise. There's like moments where like you don't like in the beginning I didn't understand that whole spirit thing, and then like I saw the combat power. It's like there's fights you cannot win.
Yeah.
It is impossible if you win. Like I didn't know that at the beginning. I just thought like you could like I can win this fight, and like some of them I tried to do the cheap thing. Like I actually did win one with Ganondorf because like I waited till him to do the jump and then knocked him off the ledge. Like way out of the league of trying to win that fight. But some of them were like extremely difficult. And I think people complain, like, even when you fight some of the fighters to, like, win,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's on a timer based on that or, like, some of them were just like,
Difficult.
extremely difficult. Like, Cloud took me 4 tries before I beat him, I think.
Like unlocked him.
Unlock him. Like, there's, so if you don't, like I said, I don't know if it's time. So, like, the beginning of the fight, I got him up, like, really high damage, but I never knocked him off. And then, like, all of a sudden, he, like, flipped and, like, he
turned on
like,
the switch.
yeah, like, he
basically, and
became really good at fighting. And then all of a sudden,
You're up to 120 damage and you're flying.
I didn't
off
even
the
hit
goddamn
him.
screen.
I didn't hit him once after that, and it's just weird. I don't know if it's like the fighters are also on a timer.
Closest trophy.
I've actually seen like I've lost to a few different people, like
Trying to unlock or
trying to unlock.
So Lucina and Cloud, I think, were the 2 most difficult.
For you or just in general?
And no, to unlock. I said it could be anyone because if like a different fighter was on a timer for you, then it might have been a different story.
Oh, I see.
Where like
But
I knocked one off like really quick, but if I had prolonged the fight, it might have been a different story.
what are you playing with?
Mars.
Controllers.
Oh,
No, sorry.
the dog ear controls at the moment.
Okay, so like the one that you
Yeah.
came with the Switch. Okay, so I'm a big proponent. Like I love the GameCube controllers, but I think it's just time to move forward.
No.
You know what I mean? Because like,
I would if it didn't have to do
but
that.
think
Never.
about this, right? Anywhere you go, they're like if they're whoa, look at that's awesome.
Yes, the tiny.
It's like a tiny Game & Watch that you can barely see on screen. But like if you go to a tournament somewhere, or if you go to PAX East, right, and someone's playing this, they might only have the Pro controllers.
No, they're gonna have the game packs and a tournament.
Well,
They're
or
gonna
just
be
like-
Actually, I
GameCube.
do have to admit, I think the game controller is actually the official tournament controller of.
Oh, okay.
Like, so they never switch. Well, it's preferred base, but they always make sure. I think that's why they kept making it. It's
Okay.
because professional fighters were like, oh.
I mean, I'll take your argument and say, oh yeah, if you go to someone's house, you know,
You know what?
it's not gonna
Fair.
be there. But
It's
then
time
I
for you
just
to
don't
move
play.
Then you just I'll watch. I'll
Yeah.
spectate.
Just give me some drinks.
But while we're on the topic of Nintendo, you guys heard about Reggie's interview with IGN?
Red Dead Redemption.
No, not Red Dead Redemption.
I know
silly
he,
bastard. He said that he wanted it on there, but
Well, he
there's-
gave his explanation for a lot of stuff was they were in production before. So, not that I buy it. It wouldn't fit on the cartridge anyway.
yeah,
but
that would not. It's a fucking 100 gigs.
yeah.
But so this is coming from IGN. Andrew Goldfarb writes that so according to the Game Awards interview with Reggie Fils-Aimé, the attach rate for Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is above 50%. So nearly
They're
half.
You got to own them. That's the must.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, those are the 3 must-own
Own
titles
games.
for the Wii.
I don't,
also
I don't even
the
have a Switch.
Switch.
They're also the oldest
That's
characters.
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
even half
well,
the
there's
Switch.
characters.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
Not
yeah.
oldest
Not even
titles,
50
oldest
people own a
characters.
Wii, I think.
Franchises would be the word.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's obviously that Nintendo's playing to its strength, you know.
which is the franchise.
You would think when they release like the Switch as a brand new thing, they would introduce like new characters, but it seems that people don't want those, and people want to go with
a
the
new franchise.
You mean new IP, which would be nice.
like a new IP. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Splatoon kind of straddled that line there, and ARMS.
You only do it if you
Arms
don't have
do-
something.
arms
Very,
is-
very rarely do
yeah, do you get like
established consoles releasing.
a new character, like maybe like Luigi's Mansion, but
Bayonetta
Luigi's
3
is
maybe?
The
very
closest
much.
thing I think we got is Pikmin, or actually the closest thing we got is Wii Sports,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well,
Which
I
are
don't
in
think
the
which
it's bad.
was a good move.
I don't think it's a bad
genres.
thing. I think they're definitely
No, I mean that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You won't see another game that has that attach rate to a system. That's fucking insane. It's
Well, it's sold, yeah.
record high in I think in the States, in the United States. It's not worldwide, but yeah. But sorry,
okay,
back
it
to
was-
Smash.
yeah.
Do you have anything else on Smash or? I mean,
No, I mean, I
it's-
like overall, I like the modes. He added, so the classic mode is, glad he added it in there. So the only complaint I had was that there's no fucking sandbag. I don't
There's
know. the
no
whole-
sandbag. There's no break the targets. There's no real mini games. It's like
Yeah.
race to the finish. Is
I don't
the
know
only
why
one in there.
those were left out. Just weird. And then the other mode he added was also, I think, pretty cool, which was like trials. He does like knock off. Like I said, it is just like a quick way to do knock off like 30 mini Marios in like a minute and a half, and you get you get spirit points, or you get things to kind of help them out, rather than going through the whole World of Light map to do it.
Oh, okay.
I also scanned amiibos and got some. So
Yeah, I mean, At this point, I played it for the launch day, and I really enjoyed it. And I think it is going to be one of those things where I'm really going to play it with people, not so much on my own. I was really hoping for the World of Light to be a little bit more.
I still think it's better than anything. The board game from Smash 4 sucked. Brawl had the next best mode,
Subspace, yeah.
but the game itself sucked.
Well, Brawl's Subspace Emissary was weird because it was a platforming game with fighting mechanics, and it just felt way off. But I wish that there was.
Very good way of putting it.
I felt like there was something. There should be. There should be something else to World of Light. Or I should say I want something else from World of Light, and I'm not getting that.
Something more to I said I have to finish it. I'm close to beating it. I don't know if it's like the master hand, like something else happens after that, or if there's a continuation of it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I thought they did better than I expected.
Okay. It's I agree with you. It's definitely the best single player content they've put forth, but it's still like, ugh. I think in a generation that has Injustice and Mortal Kombat like storytelling, I'm not looking for that.
Injustice has. It's got the back end comics. Like Bloody Roar for the GameCube. That's
there's good single player stuff where like I could play Injustice single player and then never have to play multiplayer.
Now, do you think this is going to be the apex of sort of the Mario or Super Smash sort of thing, or do you feel like there's room for another game in the future at some point?
It's updates from here. He micromanages.
Sir, can you not read the name? Ultimate.
There's a Famitsu article or interview that he had that was translated that was basically saying, I could wait another 10 years to make it. And then he laughs it off saying, like, please, they'd make me do another one before.
Yeah, do you really think like, oh, no, we don't want the money. Just, this is good.
I think that you may see a new one at the end of the next
Ultimate
generation.
2, right?
The way Switch works.
No, you just call it something else. You don't call it Ultimate. You call it Super Smash Brothers something.
Super.
No.
That'd be derivative.
They've never been great on names.
The new Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. There you go.
But what I'm saying to you is, do you think
Smash
thematically and sort of gameplay-wise that this is a very good sort of... This could be a stopping off point.
It could be. If they decided they were never going to make another one until 20 years from now or 15 years from now, yeah.
It's appropriate.
It's a perfect... Because it's got all of the characters. It's got everything that you really want.
Called Ultimate.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
That's what it's been sold as.
I get it, but...
Do you, though?
Yeah, but ask them in 5 years, they're going to say, oh,
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying now, is that, yes, do I think there'll be another one? Absolutely. Do I think that this could be the stopping point? Yes, I agree with that. Like, it could be, but Nintendo won't. That's my stance.
Okay.
I'm sticking to my guns.
Would you go from here for it to the,
DLC.
franchise?
The DLC is not bad. $25 for 5 new characters.
Waluigi.
I think he'll be the 5th one. I think he'll
Waluigi. Get some Waluigi.
Keep dreaming.
He'll be the last one.
Metroid Prime 4 will come out before.
I'm seeing purple.
That's
all I'm saying.
But anything else, Ant?
No, that was it for Smash.
Yeah, I think. But you're also playing.
So moving on.
What's that small game?
That small game?
Yeah, that small game that you've been playing.
76.
Yeah, Fallout 76.
This is gonna be quick.
I want to talk to you about this because
I really don't. But go on.
Not about this, but people we complain about Fallout 76. It's made me want to play Fallout 4 again.
Honestly,
and I know Brian. You've never been a big fan of him. I get it.
I wish I was playing 4.
I get it. Yeah. It makes it seem so much better by comparison. I think that's exactly where.
Dude, you didn't play it. Like it is. So let's just.
Yeah. So what are you playing right now?
PS4. I did the 2 updates for it. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever fucking.
So and the update came out this past week, right?
Yeah, they delayed it. It was supposed to be the 11th, and the consoles got
the 14th or the 13th.
Which was yesterday.
So it includes camp improvements or CAMP.
I haven't seen any of this shit.
Automatically removing small obstructions when placing it and allows you to relocate it for free if the location is occupied by another player when you log in.
So a real game changer, what you're saying, right?
There's a lot. I saw the patch notes. It still runs like shit. It's still shit.
Yeah, it's a bad product.
It's a long haul.
Can I ask you why you're still playing it?
I just went back to the update. I really did want to see what. I mean, like they got to make amends somehow.
Well, I mean, they are saying, and so this article by Shabaya Arif over at IGN.com, Fallout 76 got another patch this week following last week's update, and Bethesda is hoping to drop another one before the end of the year, according to the latest Inside the Vault blog post. So, quote, we're still hoping to provide one more patch in mid-December, which is now. Mid-December is now, so maybe like late December. As mentioned previously, this patch will continue to focus on stability and other concerns raised by the community. I guess it's good that they understand that the community is pissed off and they're actually listening. Yeah.
It's too like
it
took you
and that was my question.
Your first patch. Yeah. They're not helping at all, really. I mean, what they're doing is like just minuscule stuff of like some players benefit from it, some don't. Overall, it just seems like they don't know how to make an RPG. Like it's just not balanced. It's just not working for them. In some dimensions, you take from one, you lose something from something else. I mean, it doesn't run. It still doesn't run.
So, do you think for Bethesda? Do you think it's worth it for Bethesda to even like focus on this in 2019?
You have to fix it.
Well, you don't. I mean, they got other things in the pipeline.
You can't just. You fucked up. You can't leave it.
You can't just say, "Hey, sorry, everyone that bought this, we're done."
Yeah, but you really think they're gonna entice new players to get it right?
No, but they have to fix it for others.
You fix it until a point where you can.
It's going to be one of those things that's going to be a long time, but
correct.
Look at
you owe it. I mean, like
it's the perfect analogy.
Well, how many years did that take?
2.
Yeah.
So again, but they can put their C team on this and just go, "Yep, you're going to keep fixing this while we're working on Elder Scrolls 6. You're going to keep working on this until we put out Starfield or whatever the fuck." Game they announced at E3.
Whatever else stuff you got going on.
I do like how Todd Howard's just, I'm on vacation. Sorry,
dude, they fucked up so much.
Sorry, guys.
He can't really.
He can't be the face of this, right? He can't be the face of this disaster.
He can't.
You need to not say anything. You just need to put your head down, focus on fixing it.
You gotta show the you gotta show the work.
Out.
You can't say anything at this point.
Yeah, because no one's going to listen.
I just find it very ironic. They were hyping this so bad, and then just a big turd sandwich.
They were hoping for something better, and it just didn't. They didn't stick the landing.
No one's ever done that before.
No, but like
EA never put out a turd.
It's not like this is Bethesda's first game. They know what they're doing, right? It's not like they're one of the biggest studios in the world.
All right, everybody makes mistakes.
Right, and and the games they release are sort of buggy, to say the least, but this is much worse.
All right, yes, because it works for a single-player aspect. It doesn't work for online. They made a huge mistake jumping that gun, and they were not prepared for it.
So
they didn't know how to handle it.
So if this was just a purely single-player experience, do you think it would be a lot better?
Which was 4. I mean, you're taking out a lot of key aspects.
I guess that does make sense.
It's exactly 4. And 4 was buggy, but people weren't... It works in that regard because the game doesn't like when you're playing online, you're losing shit, you're losing, time, you're not nothing's working out. I think you just restart the game and go back. I mean, it's kind of I mean, don't get me wrong, all Fallouts they're buggy and it's to be expected, but this was just a colossal bug.
Yeah, I'm glad I held off on it because I was interested because I am a fan of the Fallout series.
I mean, and then the online aspect took out a lot of things that people loved it for. Base building doesn't come with you. It lost its RPG elements like drastically. It's just like, and it's heavy outweighed to like the beast. And like I said, they haven't fixed that they haven't balanced it out for players.
And also seems the world just seems empty, which
a lot of what
does that remind me of?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of
it is a wasteland.
I get it, but in terms of like Fallout, it does feel empty, but it still feels populated with.
I mean, not to be the people. West Virginia didn't have shit in it anyway.
That's true.
What you expect to get?
But
from
it was
West
an interesting
Virginia?
idea for
fucking honeycomb hive that's mutated.
It was an interesting idea for a place to go that you wouldn't think of going.
Because everyone loved John Denver so much to go to West Virginia.
They really sold that. They really ham-fisted you with the commercials.
He's rolling over in his grave now.
Oh, it's a good tune though.
It is. Don't John Denver me.
It was just like it's
never.
It's the worst video game. I wanted to return. It's the only game I've ever wanted to return. And like I saw that video on like YouTube where like that guy freaked out at GameStop, so he couldn't he just destroyed the whole store because the game just didn't run.
It's not like the game's right up my alley.
Well, don't say worst game. Don't want spoilers for next week. Just saying.
That's true. We're going to be doing a game of the year, the tangent game of the years, I guess.
Yeah.
Tangential top fives, if you will.
Or the tangent game of the year edition.
Sure. Sure.
Tangential top 5.
We'll see.
Well, it's not top 5 anymore.
That's true. Anything else on Fallout 76?
No, I'll just move on from it. We'll never.
Okay.
Let's not talk about this ever again.
Okay, perfect. So, Brando, I know that you're playing Hitman.
I am.
You're playing Season 1, right?
I also, before that, to go into another online experience that people are dealing with,
Perfect segue.
played a little more Red Dead Online.
Yeah, did you get hogtied?
Do you get your gold?
Not yet, but there was a funny meme of a guy being chased in the mountains by a posse, and the picture is just 5 guys around a guy just hogtied. And I don't think it ends well for him.
Sounds like the Wild West to me.
But no, last week I talked about a lot of the free roam mechanics going on and stuff like that, and not getting my gold bars yet, which I did. I got $250 plus 15 gold bars.
Nice.
And
Gold nugget.
And actually, today, Rockstar announced that if you played before Thursday, you would get 15 more gold bars.
Okay.
So
as like a thank you for playing and
as a
sticking
thank you,
with us.
hey, it's kind of buggy. We get it.
This guy got a snaggle.
We're working
too,
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
typical.
This is great customer service. Fallout 76. You should learn this.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Ship 'em a
stark
bag that's not
reminder of how bad Fallout 76 is and how Rockstar wants to improve their online
There's
community.
nothing they could give you to fix this.
And yeah, exactly. I think they're
What
gonna,
about a canvas bag?
No, I mean, I've seen their work. Yeah, and leak my information.
I do think if you compare the two,
great.
if they are comparable, I think that Rockstar Online is going to fare better than Fallout 76.
I mean, if it turns out
Really,
anything
Brendan.
like,
Thank you. Thank you for that crystal.
That's a hard-hitting critique.
Let me thank you for that crystal ball thing
Yeah.
because no one would have ever guessed that.
GTA 5 didn't work out for him at all.
Yeah.
And billions of dollars in
Only buy
market-
stocks that go up.
Yeah.
Those are the predictions.
No, but last
See,
week,
don't wear white after Labor Day, and don't eat yellow snow.
Nice.
last week I played the free roam, and this week I played more of the online matches.
Like the death match and.
Yeah, it's a little. So
I mean, did you do my idea?
please remind me.
Fight Club. Everyone, so I know there's a mode with throwing knives. Everyone throws away their 6 knives
And then
just punches. Just a brawl.
So I'm gonna get into that. So
I know we're not supposed to talk about.
I played. So in terms of like a death match, there is that, but they kind of wanted to put a little spin on them.
Sure.
So I played 3 modes. One was name your weapon. One was hostile territories, and the one Anthony you're talking about is make it count, right? So the mode make it count is you either get knives or you get a bow and arrow, and it's just essentially
Make every shot count.
The way I describe it is kind of their answer to battle royale, right? You're not exactly dropping in, but you only have one weapon that you have, and you kind of have to deal with it. You can't pick up any other weapons. And
the only way you get more is if you kill somebody.
No, you don't get any more.
So like, if I killed you, I couldn't pick up your 6 knives.
Yeah,
I could or couldn't.
you could not.
I thought you
Okay.
could.
You could not.
Okay.
No, because you throw the knife, but the way, like in the single player, that knife is not going to usually kill you. But in this one, it kills you absolutely.
One hit.
Yeah.
But
One
the
hit,
whole-
even if you get hit in the foot.
How many characters are in this, by the way?
So on these ones, you have
many
a choice
players?
between doing like smaller maps or larger maps, and it ranges from 6 to 12.
So once you run it, so say you're the person killing everyone, you kill all 6 with all 6 of your knives. But what do you do after that?
The game's over and then
You win,
just
yeah.
do another one.
It's
So
like-
it's
No,
not
but
like
there's
it's not
still
like
players.
free roam. He's talking about like a online.
No,
deathmatch.
so they're very separated, right? And you can access these online sort of death matches from the free roam, but they're very separate. It's not like you're on your horse.
They take you into a different.
separate.
Yeah.
All right.
A separate lobby, essentially. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed that sort
The
of
like.
because I usually don't enjoy the battle royale, but I felt like it was interesting. It didn't really take me out of it,
Okay.
and it was quick enough where it didn't.
It's it's not.
You're not
100
just
player. Yeah.
sitting in a
People
cornfield
aren't
waiting
just
for people to kill you.
camping,
Yeah.
waiting it out.
Hostile territories. that's obviously a
King of the Hill
territory. Yeah, that's
gotcha.
And the mode I found the most interesting is name your weapon. So you have different weapons, and depending on how difficult it is to use the weapon, is the most points you get on the kill.
So, for example, if you have like a shotgun, you're going to get a point, but if you have a throwing knife and you take somebody out, you're going to get like 10 points.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's a very unique sort of. You're not so much worried about the kill; it's how you kill them.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, if we're playing, does everyone get a shotgun in that one instance?
Everybody has the same weapons.
Okay, so that's kind of where I wanted to go with that because Gears of War 3, I want to say, introduced a really similar mode to that where it was you started off with, I think you started off with like just a pistol.
Yeah.
And then it would change to grenades.
Yeah.
And then it would change to whatever. But it would change depending on like how many kills somebody got. So like let's say
the more kills you got, the better the weapon you got.
Well, no, it wasn't like that. It was let's say the leader, because it's a free for all, right?
Yeah.
So you can kill whoever you want. So let's say I'm really good with grenades, and I got 3 kills with a grenade. And after the third kill, it's like, okay, we're switching over. So like, let's say I got 2,
okay.
I got 2, you got 1, and then Brandon finally got 3 in total. It's like, okay, now we're off of grenades and we're on to pistols.
So that way someone else can benefit from
Yeah, and then someone's really good with pistols. It's like, okay, now we're going to 6. Whoever gets to 6 first, and now we're going to switch the weapon.
Got you.
So
It's a little bit different.
well, yeah, it's a little
There's more
different,
quality right from the get go. I can see where you're saying that people would just
wasn't
use the
quality.
weapons that they're good at.
Well, no, you don't get to
pick,
choose.
You don't choose. It just
Well, in the Red Dead you choose, right?
Oh, okay.
So you have a rifle,
Oh.
you have a shotgun, you have throwing knives.
Okay.
And you can choose, but obviously
you get more.
the weapons usually people are good with,
So,
like the rifle,
let me
and
ask-
they're easier to kill people with,
Yeah.
are worth less
So
points.
we all get the same weapons. It's just depending on what I'm choosing in that scenario.
Yeah.
So if I'm in like a close quarters range, I might try to use my knife because I might have a better chance of hitting you with the reticle. As where if I was out in the open, maybe I'd just use a pistol.
So and the mode's named exactly where it is. Name your weapon, because if you're really good with a rifle, you can use a rifle, but you're
you're
gonna
not
get 1 point. So you're just gonna hope you get
A shit ton of kills.
and like obviously the hardest one is the throwing stuff, which are worth 9
You
points.
prefer not to die, so I'm kill him.
Yeah, but and that's the way too. It's not about the kills; it's about the points you accumulate, and that's how you win the match. And I thought it was it's sort of
different take.
put a little spice on the death
little
match. Yeah,
Gusto.
and and it's definitely I think.
Are you gonna? Do you see
gonna play
yourself
this,
playing this a lot, or do
kinda.
you see yourself?
I see
slowly gonna
myself
fall
going
off?
back and forth with it, right?
Okay.
When I'm feeling the sort of Western vibe that Red Dead Online is, and if GTA Online is any proof of that,
Indication, yeah.
they're gonna definitely keep putting more stuff,
Have you
different sort of
finished the game
heists.
yet?
No, I haven't finished the game yet.
Wow, holy shit.
Anthony, he told me.
Damn.
He told me where he was, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm nearly there." And I'm like, "You still the way that you're going, you still have 2 more fucking weeks. You're not gonna beat it before the end of the
I'm
year."
fairly close.
He's on chapter 6.
Chapter 6, deep in chapter 6. Yeah.
But the last thing he told me was he was meeting that general, and I was like, "You still have so much to go."
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I've asked around, not the only person in the boat. A lot of people are kind of taking their time with it.
A lot of people on second, third playthroughs are just.
A lot of people are like that, but
I'm down.
I'm definitely enjoying the sort of
Sure.
joie de vivre if we're doing this
enjoyed it.
French thing.
I didn't
yeah.
feel
I
rushed.
enjoyed it. I didn't feel rushed.
Took me 4 weeks. I didn't feel rushed.
To be frank with you, I feel rushed. I feel like people are just like, "Oh, you haven't finished yet."
Yeah, it's because we want to talk about it.
Well, I want to live the same time period. I mean, by then, I'll.
Yeah. By that time, it'll be fucking $21.99. Oh, I
The
finally
beard
finished
growth
it.
will be relative to the same as Arthur's.
Yeah. All right, so get on to Hitman. Get on to
It's
Hitman.
true. Yeah. Speaking of Gears of War, I got a
We
14.
weren't speaking
Yeah.
again.
No, we were originally.
I
But
guess-
I got
I
a
guess we kinda were.
14-day
I like that.
free trial. I bought a game a little while ago, and a 14-day free trial.
It was like an airway.
Games
you know?
Pass.
It's not a segment.
And the
it's an
reason,
airway.
the reason because all the Gears of War games are on Games Pass, and also Hitman Season 1, not to be confused with the rest of the Hitman games, is on
on like
Games
GameCube,
Pass.
PlayStation.
And I've always, to be honest with you, over the years, I think I've played every single Hitman game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your cup of tea, like stealth?
Well, I played this in terms of stealth games. I play the Splinter Cell games, which I guess you can kind of equate somewhat similar to these in sort of visually.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you play this game stealthily or do you play this game
guns blazing?
I want you to guess.
You play
Can you play
stealthily,
guns?
and then once shit hits the fan, you just kill everybody.
I feel like you have to. Yeah. No, I try to play by the rules.
So you
Try
couldn't do
to put on the disguises because it encourages you to do that, and I like putting on disguises.
Well, I mean, you like to see what the game has to offer. Right?
Yeah, I don't want to.
I think that's the. Big
I don't
thing.
want to shield myself from any possibility of what's going on.
So like, I'm the same way with a lot of my stealth games as well. So.
You tell you
I'm usually
Dishonored.
I'm usually a pure stealth kind of guy, but then I also always like to go back and play the game.
Yeah.
And then I try to play it. How would Anthony do this scenario?
Yeah.
That's not a lie.
Do they have a bazooka?
That's no
I
word
need a
of a lie.
bazooka.
Oh, you do? Oh, gunplay?
I do go like, all right, how would Anthony approach this? All right, there's 3 guys over there. He's going to throw a grenade, and then he's going to fucking jump on this person and stab him in the eye socket. Just stab.
Yeah.
Right?
So here's my thinking.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a dangerous game.
My thinking is you go guns blazing, it's going to limit your gameplay, right? You're not going to get all the options.
Okay,
if
yeah,
you do
you're
that,
just
right?
you're gonna kill somebody,
Yeah.
and then the alarms are gonna go off, and they're gonna.
And then
look
it's
for
just
you.
like, all right, well,
It's
here
time
we
to
go.
hide bodies. It's fucking.
And then to play a game
well, Anthony,
perfectly stealth.
Look, you can snap his neck.
Yeah,
you
he's
could, you
dead.
could,
Look,
you
he's
could,
dead.
Yeah,
you could
but
kill him
Actually,
and
in
then
that
snap
scene,
his
he's
neck.
alive, but
a
you
lot
can
of-
snap his neck. He's fucking dead.
Yeah, but it'd be one of those things like you knock him out, and like the song said the same.
Oh,
like,
you want to make sure he knows he's dead.
It's not that. You got to hide the body. Like the next guy that walks by, it's like
You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
And
Yeah.
the great, I mean, I agree with the mechanic of this. Like, I'd be tossing him off like a ledge, and then like the guy below would see it, and it's like, well, I'm already fucking.
Well,
Yeah.
now
it's just-
shit has hit the
It's like,
fan.
hey, buddy,
and
get
I'm
up
gonna
here. I
destroy
got
the
to throw
fan.
you off this ledge.
which would make like they'd see it in the water. So I'd be like, oh, that's. I mean, obviously that's keeping it real, but
So,
So really, you're a master of stealth. You just want to make sure that there's no one left alive to
if
there's no proof. There's no
there's,
evidence.
there's no
There's
one
no
to
proof
tell
he's
the
ever-
story.
There's no
How
one-
stealthily was he?
Yeah.
Pretty fucking stealthy, if you ask me.
um,
So you're
Yeah.
you're kind of playing through this game. You're taking off other people's clothes, putting them on.
disguises. Yeah.
Disguises. That's the big thing of this Hitman series, right?
Yeah.
But they do kind of allow you to pick and choose how you want to go about taking out the objective.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways. Like you can poison a drink, or you can, the classic Garrett someone.
I do like the
Garrot someone.
Oh, I was like, is his name Garrett?
No.
I thought his name was Agent 47.
Or just shoot him in the face. That's also a possibility.
the mix of hidden, like it takes like James Bond, like the mix of different stealth mechanics from
Yeah.
other games is actually pretty interesting. Like you said, you can
Have you
poison
played
him.
this, Ant?
No, but I remember this was the one Gary played, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I played the original Hitman on. Like,
Okay.
PS, and that was
I was
guns.
just curious.
But what I was originally suggesting was that pure stealth is a very difficult sort of way to play a game.
Okay.
To make sure that nothing is out of line, that no one notices you.
But it is the most
Yeah.
realistic.
And sure.
And to be fair, I think that's how I like to play stealth games. Is that I want to try and do it the way that the developers intended, or not even the way that they intended, but they don't want the whole objective is to get in and get out without leaving a fingerprint, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's the way that I love to play stealth games. Is I try to do it correctly, and for whatever reason, it's like a weird sense of pride that I can do it, or I figured out how to do it.
Don't get me like Dishonored. I use Dishonored because mechanically wise, like it's very achievable. Because like in some games, like the stealth just doesn't.
It doesn't hold up.
Yeah,
It's
like-
not as good as Dishonored stealth.
but I mean,
yeah.
granted, it's the teleportation thing. But like,
Yeah,
I did do a
it's
whole
just
level
helping
of
us.
just teleporting, and nobody saw me,
yeah.
which meant like, oh, I can do it. It's just I just didn't want to.
Yeah, you don't put in the time or the effort.
Correct.
So, Brendan, does this have, with Games Pass or Game Pass, does it have the whole season or just episode?
It has all the episodes. And that's actually the point I want to get to is, I mean, I've played all the Hitman games, and I think this one succeeds so well is because it's episodic, right?
Can I ask why?
So the other Hitman games, they kind of tried to commit this big story, and to me, I don't care. It's disjointed.
I already see where this is going.
Agent 47, yeah, he's a cool character, But I don't need 5 games to really suss out his story.
So
I get it.
What you're telling me, and I'm going to cut to the chase here,
Concentrate.
is that episode 1 is one story of Agent 47.
Yeah.
The next one does not tie
One
into
assassination.
It's a mission. Oh,
It's a mission. It's a mission. That's it.
Cool.
That's it. And I think it really hits the mark, and I think that's why it translates so well to 2016, and the new one came out this year, so 2018. Instead of comparison to the other Hitman games where it tried to tell you this elaborate story of this assassin who's a clone, and it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, you're just playing an assassin, and
you don't need.
Somebody. Yeah, you don't need
the
that
character
story.
doesn't lend itself to this whole overarching story. And it's having a lot of fun, you know? You pick it up, do one episode, you put it down.
How long are episodes? Have you finished an episode or no?
It's really up to you how long episodes are. You can like finish it real quick by just going crazy, or even taking the more stealthy approach. You know, it's fairly like half an hour.
So one episode is just this one mission.
It's just
here is this
one target.
Like it looks like we're on a ship or a boat here.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, this one boat that you're on is the whole episode 1.
You find out who you have to kill, and then it's like, all right, let me explore the options to kill him.
Okay. That's very interesting. I actually
very straightforward.
I really really enjoy the fact that it's just, you know, they're almost treating it as Bond movies, right?
Yeah.
Where, Bond movies, the newer ones have the stupid overarching theme, but like they don't have. It's not one thing is one thing is not connected to another in this.
And there is a certain amount of replayability because you can go back and there's challenges to assassinate different people.
So it's like kill this person within 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
And I actually think if you do have Games Pass, then this is something that I think you would enjoy.
You know, I've never been a huge Hitman guy. I also don't like the way that this stealth looks just watching the video. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to trying it out, but I think that I would have a lot of critiques because I like very specific stealth games. And I think I actually like my stealth games first person more than third.
Okay.
Which is weird because I don't like first person
You do.
games.
You're a big fan of Dishonored.
Yeah, I love Dishonored.
Yeah.
I love Deus Ex. And I played Deus Ex almost exclusively stealthy.
Yeah. And I think the reason I enjoy these games is because like
it's more of a guns blazing type deal for me too.
Yeah.
Like it's very similar to Assassin's Creed in terms of stealth because it's very like sort of used as you go stealth though instead of like hey, you're walking funny. I'm gonna talk to you. You know, and I don't like that. It's just
you can't really
it's too difficult. There's no planning ahead. I just have to kind of be in the moment. With this, it's a little more economical. I can kind of like, I have to do this and I have to do this. And if it doesn't,
so like you could blend in this, but like with the Dishonored, you're not supposed to be where you are.
No.
So it's like
you're just teleporting around. And you're just like,
And then in Deus Ex, most of the time, you're infiltrating places and you're not supposed to be there. Yeah. Well, Adam Jensen is a turd, but the gameplay is fucking solid.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's not going to take too long for me to finish the episode, so I think I will. I don't know about Hitman 2, if I can get my hands on it.
I mean, it's pretty cheap. I've seen it as low as $30 for the whole season.
I hear Sean Bean's in it.
I think Sean Bean is in it.
The problem people have, I think you said the episodic, is just how long they came out, and people kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, Gary was telling us, that's a good point. Gary, when this first came out in 2016, Gary was playing it, and he was like, yeah, it's great, it's amazing, but it's too long in between episodes. So it was like
it's 2 years later. I mean.
Yeah, well, no, I think it took like 2 or 3 months for the next episode to come out. And it's like, that works, I guess, for like the Telltale games because they're kind of lengthy. The chapters they're like 3 to 4 hours each one. So
yeah, these can be finished pretty quickly.
Yeah, so if you play it and then you're just like, I want more, you have to wait half a year for another 2 or whatever.
And I guess I never had that problem because I just Netflix.
You wait,
it,
well, that's boom. maybe that. Maybe you don't release them episodically. Maybe you just release the full product and then just break it up by like episodes. I think maybe that's that sweet spot.
I don't know where season 2 is right now.
I know that episode 1's out. That's all I know.
I know they advertise the shit out of Sean Bean.
Yep.
So
guess what? He's a target.
He's a target. Yeah. The Undying.
Oh, is that what they're called?
He's got
yeah. It's like the Titanic.
He stinks. Like his acting career.
Anything else about Hitman?
No, I'm gonna work my way through it and finish all the episodes. I'm about halfway through, so.
All right, cool. And I think we have one news article or one other piece of news that we haven't talked about, and this is coming from Cecilia D'Anastasio over on Kotaku. I hope I said her name right. Cecilia D'Anastasio.
If you're listening, please correct us.
Yeah.
Let us know if we.
Yeah, let me know if I butcher your name. I apologize. So, top Riot executive suspended without pay following investigation over workplace misconduct. So, over on Kotaku, you should read the full article. I'm only going to be talking about a few brief things that I've highlighted here. So, earlier this week, Riot's CEO sent an email to employees describing the punishment for its COO, Scott Gleb, will face multiple employees. What he will face after multiple employees alleged that, as a comedy bit, he has repeatedly touched subordinates' balls and butts or farted in their faces. Yeah.
Sorry.
Several employees tell Kotaku that his punishment, 2 months of unpaid leave in training, is far from satisfactory. So an 8-month Kotaku investigation informed by interviewers with dozens of current and former employees revealed that Riot Games has fostered a culture of sexism and sexual harassment. The company, which is 80% male, has 2,500 employees and an alleged history of passing up qualified women for promotions, holding female job candidates to a higher standard, and perpetuating a bro culture of bathroom humor and sexual misconduct, alleged sexual misconduct. Throughout Kotaku's interviews, one name kept cropping up: Scott Gleb, Riot Games COO, whom current and former employees allege participated in, quote, ball tapping, parentheses, flicking or slapping testicles, farting on employees, or humping them for comedic effect. And the behavior just became normal.
Oh, and just for the folks at home, Riot Games is known for League of Legends.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was having trouble putting a face to the company.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, any company that you're fired immediately. You're fired and then you're
Also,
slapped with lawsuits.
I don't care, like, the culture, so to speak, but this guy's a highly paid executive in a fairly prestigious company, and he's just going around sack tapping and humping his employees.
That's allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
It's all alleged.
But even still, like, if this is happening, one, you should be fired for sure.
Yeah.
Like, any company would fire you immediately.
Yeah, it's just not appropriate behavior. It never has been appropriate behavior, and I just think...
He's fostering a light and loose atmosphere over there.
I guess, yeah. If you want your balls groped.
I feel you gotta separate the not hiring women.
Here's
right?
the
That's
thing,
a separate
though.
issue
Until someone
in
says
terms of this.
something, it never-
I think what we're focusing on now is the
His
sexual harassment.
His behavior.
Yeah.
How do you know they weren't goofing around too?
Even if they were, it doesn't make it right.
Slap his balls back?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
They're not two wrongs if the COO is doing it.
Yeah,
it is still wrong.
What's wrong with it?
I got to know if
If the COO is embezzling money and you're embezzling money, who's
Yeah, but
wrong?
we're talking about two different. I mean, that's illegal.
This is not illegal?
This is illegal. This is sexual harassment.
It's only sexual harassment if the other person deems it sexual harassment.
Which they do.
Well,
I mean, he's...
No, I'm saying, well, it's all alleged. But I'm saying,
yeah.
what if the other people are in on it?
So, all right, so you look at the crime, right?
So here's the
if
thing
you can
with-
separate the crime and the act, so to speak,
Let him.
by definition, it's sexual harassment. Whether it's a crime is different than that, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure, but
No.
it is
But
a crime
no.
to...
No, I understand it's a crime.
No, okay.
Sexual harassment is a crime.
Doesn't.
So like if he went to court and they said, "Oh, you're not sexually harassing anybody," he's still sexually harassing people.
Well,
Not
he
in-
just
okay. So
acquitted
then
of that crime. Right? That's-
Ready? You ready for this?
Okay. go ahead.
Okay. If a woman says I can have sex with her, did I just rape her?
No, but that's different.
No, because
though.
rape is defined by consent.
Because
Well, right, but that's exactly what I'm saying. If the other person consented
But they're
to
not doing-
roughhousing, then
They're
yeah.
not- well, this
some
is-
aren't. I'm just. I
this
mean,
is
I'm not saying.
multiple-
I'm not saying these people did or did
Are.
not consent. Either way.
So what you're doing is you're basically saying, what if this was happening?
I'm just sure. I'm saying could be. What
well,
I'm saying is
I
this
don't-
atmosphere. Right. Yeah.
I don't disagree with your argument. I understand what you're saying.
Not my argument.
So the argument
So
is
can't really
if you went
disagree.
along with the problem is if you went along with it and didn't say anything, it's not at that point it's not sexual harassment.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
So I remember there's a guy specifically telling me in college, until you say something, how is the other person supposed to know? Like, it's not that you get the fair pass of like this is a continued behavior, this is acceptable, but it's still the argument of like a warning to him.
Well, there's a difference between like
You can't just grab, like I said, you can't just. But there's
that's the thing, right? Is like this act is sexual harassment. There's no confusion
there is,
about it.
but there's a difference between like if you never mentioned it.
Well, I mean, there's things I'm sure in the guidelines that say like you can't hump or you can't sexually harass people.
Correct,
This
and
is
then-
sexual harassment.
But if, like he said, if someone does it, like if you play along with it, until you say stop, like you have to be like, hey, look,
well,
I'm
I mean,
not
like
comfortable, or
there's
this isn't.
it's one thing if I just kept like if I patted you on the shoulder and I was like, hey, Aunt, how's your day?
Correct.
And you told me like, hey, please don't do that. That's a different that's like murky waters. But if I was walking up to you and literally sack tapping you,
Correct.
That's sexual. I would imagine I'm gonna get fired.
I'd be more with the humping. The sack tap thing would be like the thing of like the circle thing from like
Still, though.
if you played the game, then it's
Well,
kind of.
it's still
yeah,
it's
it's
not-
still
There's
in the realm.
it's a fine line. Don't
in
get me.
a workplace that's not appropriate.
No, it's not professional for him. But if everyone else was,
define a workplace. I mean, that's
They work
do you
at a
want-
place.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but not all workplaces are the same type of workplaces.
Yeah, but
you can
they all
admit a
have-
workplace
But
like a
shouldn't they-
construction company.
shouldn't they
They
be?
all have rules.
No, I'm not.
They all
that's-
have
But
rules.
that's my point. But not all rules from every company are the same.
Yeah, but sexual harassment is pretty across the board.
Well, it should be standard.
What?
It should be standard
No,
for every company.
I disagree.
Well, I mean, I
the
think
company
that
should be able
sexual
to define their
harassment,
own rules.
yes,
sexual
correct.
harassment should be
Standard.
but
What's
not-
defined?
Well, sexual harassment can exist at every company. How you define sexual harassment can change.
I guess, yeah, hypothetically, yeah, sure,
Yes,
it can.
Like some
Because some- there's some
because
extremes.
companies like Google and shit are starting to consist of asking a woman out or a man at a given company is considered sexual harassment.
What you're equating is like at a construction job versus at an office job.
In general.
The
But
definition
I'm-
of sexual harassment
But
changes.
now
think-
I could just give you two. I mean, you got an office example, like say your work, and an office example like Google, where I just said,
Yeah.
where they've now it's basically like you can't even ask a woman out.
I think what Steve is saying is that
Yeah.
it's not necessarily that sexual harassment is shouldn't be in every place. What I think he's saying is
What
what
defines.
companies like are defining.
What is the definite? Yeah, exactly. How does a company define sexual harassment?
And I think that's what he's getting at, and I can see that to an extent for sure. But like back to the subject matter, this is sexual harassment, and I could see if I was working there, I would want this guy fired for sure.
And I don't think he intended this to be sexual harassment. I honestly don't.
No, he probably thought it was a joke.
Yeah, he probably
I
thought it
think
was
he
just
just-
horsing around.
That's why I
He's
said
horsing around
you give him
and-
the warning, like,
You
hey,
get a
look,
few uptight people at your shitty company.
Well, there's definitely a line he crossed. You
Yeah.
can't refute that, especially for a CEO. He's
I
not,
say it's the
COO.
fear
COO,
of losing
crazy.
your job because, like, obviously they didn't say anything because of fear of, like, you're gonna get fired.
Yeah, but then that creates
No.
a terrible work environment as well.
Correct.
But no, I mean, this guy should be fired. Two, this is completely, I mean,
unbecoming of someone of his stature.
yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where it's just, I hate it because
Stature. What the fuck does that mean? Go on.
He's a CEO of a
games
company.
games are
Oh.
still so.
See, I'm saying COO.
Yeah, games are so still in their infancy, right? But we want them to be taken seriously, or at least I do. And then something like this happens where it's just like, don't do that. Don't represent.
He's living it up like the Atari guys.
Just don't
what it's all
represent
about.
like
Yeah.
the gaming industry.
But I don't define
this
that as
way.
being like it's unprofessional. Even like League of Legends would be an unprofessional. Like it's one person.
Well, no, I understand
It's,
that, but it's still one. It's like one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. It's like one of those things
I mean,
where
there's
it's just,
2,499 more employees that are fine.
yeah, but he's one of the heads. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the
But,
heads
so, all right.
or faces.
We're not
So what if it
keeping
was
high
a,
and tight on this.
what if it was not a gaming company? Would it be not good then?
No,
No,
wait,
Just
gaming
saying-
hasn't even
that's
equated
the,
it.
I think that's the whole point. We were just saying like it's not acceptable everywhere.
Okay, yeah. I just I don't know. I thought you went on a different thought. But.
No, I don't. Well, at least I don't think so. Unless
No, we define sexual harassment.
yeah,
I don't know what other jobs do or do not allow.
I can tell you this: the company that I work for,
Yeah.
you'd be fired immediately, and then probably sued.
And we don't
Like-
allow that. We don't allow that sort of behavior on this podcast. So.
That's true.
If you just touched me, I'm filing for.
Remains to be seen. I think Justin had a few things to say about that.
Justin might have a few things to say about that.
You start writing some fucking workplace ethics shit over there, you're fucking fired.
But
CFO.
keep this high and tight, if you will.
Yeah.
Nothing fucking written down over here.
But if you guys like what you hear and like what you see, please go to youtube.com/pixelatedpoints, subscribe to us there, or subscribe to us on any podcast catcher around the globe. Again, little housekeeping. We are going to be making some changes towards the new year, so stay tuned for that. We don't have the full details all ironed out, but we will, and we will let
Keep
you know
posted, yeah.
in the upcoming episodes. Next week, we're going to do our tangent games of the years. Or
Top tangential,
Whatever
Yeah, it's such a, it rolls off the tongue. It sounds so
top
original.
tangential.
The Tangent Game of the Year edition.
The Tangent Game of the Year edition. So we're going to be talking about our favorite games in a few different categories next week. So it's going to be a little bit different in the formatting. So please stick with us. But again, if you guys want to know what we're doing during the week, Twitter is definitely the best place to do so. For the site, we are at PXLPTS, and for the Tangent, we are at Tangent_podcast. For myself, I am at It's a Me BT. Anthony, you are
At margin_Erebus.
Cox.
BCOX1776.
Steve.
At Steven_Sal.
And that's going to be it for another episode of the Tangent Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. If you want to watch us, go over to youtube.com/pixelatedpoints. All of our stuff's in there in nice little fancy playlists.
Convenient for you.
That's going to be a great episode of the Tangent Podcast, and I can feel it. I can feel it deep in my balls.
Wow.
Just don't tap them,
Which
I
one?
guess.
Yeah, don't tap them.
Just don't tap.
Once we get this guy, we can hire this guy to
Yeah, we can hire this guy to tap our balls.
after he gets out of prison. Just
Fact,
He'll do it for free. Why do you even need to hire him?
Yeah,
You know what?
well, you know,
In fact, he's going to pay you.
First off,
pay
first off,
you.
he's going to be jobless.
he's
he needs to pay the
COO.
court fees.
He's jobless now. He's free.
Yeah,
He's free
he
reign.
needs
Yeah,
money.
another job lynch mob coming after him.
But that's going to be it for another episode of the Tangent Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.
On the tangents.